So good morning dear cadets. Now I am starting now solid state, that is the unit number first. Biomolecules study only I have completed and all the videos are uploaded in my YouTube channel. Whenever you are free or whenever you feel the need of that chapter or unit, you can refer, you can see. Okay. So in the solid state, first I will tell you something about the matter. Okay. What is the matter? Anything which occupies space and have mass, that is known as matter. There are three physical states of matter. Okay. Actually this is the physical classification of matter. Okay. What is the meaning of physical classification? What is the meaning of chemical classification? Physical classification means classification based on physical property. Okay. So on the basis of physical classification, matter can be divided into three categories: solid, liquid and gas. Okay. Just see which matter will be in solid state, liquid state or gas state. It will be decided on the basis of two factors. These two factors are interparticle attractive force and thermal energy. So what is the interparticle attractive force? Interparticle attractive force is the force which is responsible for holding constituent particles together. Okay. And now the physical states of matter highly depends on this one. If interparticle attractive force is strong, they will be in the solid state. If interparticle attractive force is weak, they will be either in liquid state or gaseous state. Okay. One more factor is there which determine the physical states of matter, that is thermal energy. What is thermal energy? Energy arises due to temperature. Energy arises due to temperature, and this energy is only responsible for the movement of particle in the matter. Okay. So just see, I told here the dominance word I have used. Okay. So basically how many states of matter you have got? You have got three states. Two more states are there, that is the plasma state and Bose-Einstein condensate, BEC. But in our syllabus, basically solid state is there. This is for the sake of introduction I have discussed this one. Okay. Now I have used word dominance. Okay. Try to understand. These two factors, that is interparticle attractive force and thermal energy, they work opposite in direction. Okay. Their nature is different. If interparticle attractive force dominate over thermal energy, then matter would be in solid state. Similarly, if thermal energy dominate over interparticle attractive force, then matter would be in the gaseous state. If they are almost balanced, then matter would be in liquid state. So one factor dominance over another factor will determine the physical states of matter. As far as liquid and gas state is concerned, they are known as fluid. Fluid means which have got the flowing property. And about the gas and liquid, we have studied in 11th class. Now this year, what is there? Solid state is there. So this is the introduction of this unit. Now let us begin with the solid state. So what is the solid state? Solid state is nothing but a physical states of matter which have got definite shape, definite volume and definite density also. Okay. So one by one we will discuss. So what is the solid state? Solid state is nothing but a states of matter which have got fixed shape and volume. Okay. Now what are the general characteristics of solid? The general characteristics of solid, there are so many characteristics, but we'll discuss here the most common characteristics of solid. The first characteristics is this one only. They have got definite shape, definite volume, definite mass. What is the next one? Interparticle distance. Interparticle distance means constituent particle by which solid is made up of. Remember, in constituent particles may be atom, may be molecules, may be ions. like NaCl is there. So what are the constituent particle? Na positive ion and Cl negative ion. Okay, but in dry ice, what is the constituent particle? H2O, and that is molecules. So molecules may also be constituent particle. Graphite, diamond, they have got the constituent particle carbon, and carbon is the atom. Okay. Similarly, you might have heard about so many metallic crystal like gold, silver, copper, aluminium. So there what is there? Metals are the constituent particles. Okay. So we'll classify all those solids further. But right now what is there? Interparticle distance in the solid is less, and interparticle attractive force is strong. Okay. That is why they are solid. Another one thing is they are rigid. What is the meaning of rigidity? Meaning of rigidity is maintaining their shape even if external force is applied. Okay, like this is the chalk and I am applying force. Nevertheless, it is maintaining their shape, original shape. So what I can say, the chalk is rigid. Chalk is rigid. They are incompressible. Incompressible means which cannot be compressed by applying external force. Okay, like just see, it is not compressing. Getting compressed means reduction in size. Reduction is means basically reduction. Why I am using word? Because whenever you compress anything, their size is decreased. So reduction in size when external force is applied. So just see, they are almost incompressible. Incompressible solids, almost. Some exceptions are also there. Sponge is solid, but sponge is highly compressible. Why? Actually sponge is solid only. There is no problem in the classification, but in sponge what is there? Small pores are there, and in those pores air particles are trapped. Because of that, it becomes compressible. Okay. Solid diffuse very slowly. What is the meaning of diffusion? Basically, gas and liquid have got the property of diffusion. Solid also have got the diffusion, but very slow diffusion is there. Reason, interparticle attractive force is very strong. Okay. The meaning of diffusion is migration of solute particles. Solute particle or migration of particles from higher concentration to lower concentration. That is known as diffusion. And what is osmosis? Osmosis is the migration of solvent particle from lower concentration to higher concentration. Remember, this is the difference. In what is diffusion? Diffusion is the process of migration of solute particle from higher concentration to lower concentration, and semi-permeable membrane is not there. But in osmosis, what is happening? Migration of solvent particle, not solute particle, solvent particle from lower concentration to higher concentration. Okay, that is there. Okay, so solids have very slow diffusion. They do not show translatory motion, only show vibratory motion. Try to understand. In solid, interparticle attractive force is strong. So since interparticle attractive force is strong, then what would be there? What would be there? They cannot show motion along the line. Okay, because interparticle attractive force is strong, but on their own position they can vibrate. On their own position they can vibrate. And another thing is they have high melting point also as compared to other matter like liquid and gas. Their melting point is high because interparticle attractive force is strong. Okay, now classification of solids. Okay, solids can be classified into two categories: crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Okay, amorphous means, what is the meaning of amorphous? Amorphous means soft. What is the meaning of amorphous? Meaning of this one is soft or having no form, having no fixed form. Okay, So now just see, by their name only distinction is there. Crystalline solids are those solids which crystalline solids are those solids in which constituent particles are arranged regularly, or they have got the definite pattern of arrangement of constituent particles. Definite pattern of arrangement of constituent particles means what is there? Whatever constituent particles are there, let it be atoms, ions or molecules, they will be arranged in a regular, means regular in the sense orderly arrangement is there, systematic arrangement of particle is there, and they will follow the particular pattern of arrangement. Okay, so the definite geometrical pattern is there in crystalline substance. Okay, what are the example of crystalline solids? The crystalline solids are copper, silver, sodium chloride, phosphorus, iodine, quartz. They are the example of crystalline solid because in their crystal lattice constituent particles are following the definite geometrical pattern of arrangement. Definite geometrical pattern of arrangement. Okay, now just see, now here also constituent particles are different. In copper crystal, what is there? Copper is the constituent particle. In silver, what is there? Silver is the constituent particle. Sodium chloride, sodium and chloride ion is the constituent particle. So we'll classify the crystalline solids also on the basis of type of constituents. Type of constituent. In some of the solid constituent particles are atom. In some of the solid constituent particles are ion. In some of the solid constituent particles are molecules. So accordingly we'll classify molecular solid, then covalent solid, metallic solid, ionic solid. That is the further point of discussion. Okay. Now next one is amorphous. So I told you amorphous means having no form. So what we can say? Constituent particles are not arranged in definite geometrical shape. Definite geometrical shape. Constituent particles are not arranged in definite geometrical shape. Okay. What is the meaning of definite geometrical shape? Regular arrangement, systematic pattern. Okay, that is missing here. So no regular arrangement is there. What are the examples of amorphous solid? Rubber, okay, plastic, glass, coal, okay, pitch. Pitch means tar. Okay, you can write here PITCH. Okay, pitch. So these are the some of the examples of amorphous solid. Now you will have more idea about the crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Okay, when I will teach you the distinction between crystalline and amorphous solid, then you will have more idea. Okay. Okay, so now difference between crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Okay, so I will not teach you only difference, will tell you some more thing about this one. Okay, so just see, this side crystalline solid is there, this side amorphous solid is there. So just see, basically 4 differences are there. So first difference is very much clear to you. In crystalline solid, what is there? Constituent particles have regular arrangement. Here what is there? Constituent particles are not regularly arranged, means orderly arrangement is not there. Orderly arrangement means systematic arrangement of constituent particle. Second one difference is, in crystalline solid long range order is there, and here what is there? Short range order is there. Understand the meaning? Do you understand the meaning of long range order? Means everywhere throughout the available space or volume of crystalline solid, constituent particles are regularly arranged, means order is there. Order means, what is the meaning of order? Systematic arrangement is there. Suppose in your class 4 rows are there, if in all rows 6, 6, 6 and 6 cadets are sitting, so this is called long range order. Long range order means systematic arrangement throughout the available space or volume. Okay, systematic arrangement of particles are there. Cadets are constituent particles, and this entire room is called the available volume for crystalline solid. Okay, so the regular arrangement is there. Long range order means arrangement of constituent particles is there throughout the available volume or space. That is why it is called long range order. Means you can understand in this way, order is present in long range. Okay, we can say or not, I wrote here, regular arrangement is throughout available space. In amorphous solid, either arrangement is orderly arrangement is not there. Even if it is there, it is up to certain distance. So short range order is there. Means order in short range. Order means arrangement, regular arrangement. Regular arrangement is there but in short range. So this is regular arrangement up to certain distance. That is why in amorphous solid, short range order is there. Now third difference is, before teaching the third difference, I will teach you the fourth one difference. Okay, just see, whenever crystalline solids are cut or cleaved, so they will cut or cleaved with a definite plane. Like just see, sugar particle, have you seen? You just break the sugar particle. Okay, don't powder it, just break. But all particles, all small crystals will have definite plane. So that is the characteristics of crystalline solid. They always cleaved with definite plane. Means here what is there? Regular breakage is there in case of crystalline solid. What about amorphous solid? In amorphous solid, breakage is irregular. Means they cannot be cleaved along definite plane. They cannot be cleaved along definite plane. Okay, irregular breakage is there. Irregular breakage is there. Okay, correct? Is there any problem? Now the third one difference now I will teach. Crystalline solids are anisotropic, or they exhibit the property of anisotropy. What is anisotropy? The meaning of anisotropy is different physical property in different direction. Different physical property in different direction. That is anisotropy. Means suppose I am viewing along this direction. What are the physical property? Refractive index, melting point, boiling point. There are so many, what to say, physical property. Just a minute. Okay, just see. Physical property, electrical conductivity. Okay, refractive index. Now electrical property, thermal conductivity. These are the physical property. Suppose I am viewing the physical property from this direction. Okay, so now I will have one particular value of all those physical property like refractive index, thermal conductivity, electrical conductivity. But if same thing I am viewing from that direction or measuring from that direction, so same value will be changed. So what is the meaning of this one? We are getting the different physical property in different direction. Question arises here, why crystalline solids are anisotropic? Why we are getting different physical property in different direction? Understand this one. Just see, suppose this is one solid. Okay, here just see, these are the small particle. In second, you know that crystalline solids, they have got the regular arrangement. Okay, definite geometrical pattern. So first small particle, then what is there? Big particle, big particle. Now again what is there? Small particle, small particle. Again big part. This is only definite geometrical pattern. Okay, definite geometrical pattern. Okay, if you want to make another one, you can make. Okay, like that here. Okay, first big, then small, big, small, big. Okay, Understood my point? Now try to understand. Suppose I want to view from this direction. Okay, so just try to understand. Now we can view in two different ways. Okay, just see. Just see here. This is one direction. Okay, now suppose I am viewing from this direction. Okay, this direction. This direction. Small, big, small, big, small, big. Okay, now here also small, big, small, big, small. Okay, just see here. This two direction is there. One is this direction. Okay, let us see. This is B and B dash direction. Okay, this is A and A dash direction. Just see. I am explaining you why crystalline solids are anisotropic, means why they are giving different physical property in different direction. Okay, just see in crystalline solids, what is there? Regular arrangement of particles are there, definite geometrical pattern is there. Suppose you are moving in this direction, then what is there? This is the arrangement of particle. Small, big, small, big, small. Correct? Now suppose you are moving in this direction, then big, small, big, small, big. Are you getting my point or not? So what I want to say means whatsoever direction you are moving, just see. Whatsoever direction you are moving, the arrangement of particle is different. Like here, what is there? Big, small, big, small. Okay, but if you are moving in this direction, then what is there? Same arrangement is there. Big, small, big, small, big. Now this arrangement may not be in this side. Okay, of course here also it is same only, but suppose this line is not there. Let us say this line is not there. Okay, then just see. If this line is not there, then what is the arrangement? Big, small, particle. And this line, what is there? Small, big, small. See, the arrangement is changed or not? B started from this direction, then big, small, but this side, what is there? Small, big, small, big. Suppose I am starting from this side, so the big, small, suppose I am starting from this side, means what is there? Due to regular arrangement of particle in crystalline solids, we will have different arrangement of particle in different direction. Like here, if I am starting, then what is there? Big, small, but suppose I am starting from this side, then what is there? Small, big. Okay, suppose I am starting from this side, big, small, but from this side, what is there? Small, big. Means what is there? Why this pattern has come? Because particles are regularly arranged here. That is why in different direction, different arrangement of particle we will have. Okay, now I have given you the example. This side big is the first, this side small is the first, this side small is the first, but from this side big is the first. So what is the meaning of this one? Due to regular arrangement or due to definite geometrical pattern of constituent particles in crystalline solid, different direction, we will have different types of arrangement. That is why we are getting different physical property in different direction. While in case of amorphous solid, what is there? Everywhere irregular arrangement is there. Everywhere regular arrangement is not there. Means anywhere, just see. Now Now give one example where particles are not regularly arranged. Like just see here. Just see, I am giving this example. 2 are small, 3 are small, then 2 are big, again 3 are small, again 1 is there. Now suppose here also small, big, then small. Now again just see big, then small, then again big, or you can say one big, another one small. Okay. Now whatsoever direction you will go, this direction or this direction, what would be there? You will not have the regular arrangement of particle. So from whichever side you will start, you will have same physical property. Okay, because here what is there? Just see this side, what is there? Small, then big, small, big. Now this side big only. Means what is there? Regular arrangement is not there. Definite geometrical pattern is not there in amorphous solid. So whichever direction you will start measuring the physical property, you will have the same set of particles, same set of arrangement of particle. That is why there is no change in the physical property. That is why amorphous solids are isotropic solid. Crystalline solids are anisotropic solid. Amorphous solids are isotropic solids. Okay. Now just see, there is one question in the pre-board. First this question has come. Glass is called pseudo solid, amorphous solid or supercooled liquid. In pre-board first this question has come. Glass is known as supercooled liquid. Why? So just see, glass is amorphous solid. So what is there? People have written that it has got the flowing property, that is why it is called supercooled liquid. Fine. This is also not a wrong answer. But why? See, supercooled liquid, pseudo solid, amorphous solid is only pseudo solid. They are only called supercooled liquid. Some other property should also be written. Like just see. In crystalline solid, chemical composition is fixed. Here what is there? The chemical composition of glass is not fixed. Moreover to this, they can be broken from any, they can be cleaved without plane. But crystalline solid, they can be cleaved with a definite plane. So glass, what here doing? Not only it is having the flowing property, it is fulfilling the some other properties of amorphous solid, like breakage is irregular, they cannot be cleaved with the definite plane, it has got flowing property, its melting and boiling point is not fixed, its melting and boiling point is not fixed. Please write down here, in crystalline solid, having fixed melting point or sharp melting point. Here what is there? Not having definite or sharp or fixed melting point. Okay. So just see, glass not only having the flowing property, its melting point is also not fixed, its chemical composition is also not fixed. Moreover to this, it can be broken without definite plane. Irregular breakage is there. That is why these are the reason, that is why it is called supercooled liquid. And what is the evidence to be supercooled liquid as far as glass is concerned? Just see, old window panes are in old buildings. If glasses, windows or some other articles are there, so what would be there? Their thicker would be, means their bottom would be more thicker than top. So what is the meaning of this one? It has got the flowing property, that is why bottom has become thicker than top. Okay. So these are the things. So we should study in detail way, then only we can solve the questions. Okay. Now some other differences also you can write. Crystalline solids, they have got the definite chemical composition. Amorphous solid, they don't have definite chemical composition. Okay, that is also one of the difference. But rather than concentrating much on this one, it is better to concentrate on these many differences. So I hope that you have got the meaning of isotropic and anisotropic. Again I am telling you, anisotropic means different value of physical property in different direction. Okay, isotropic means having same value of physical property in all the direction. Amorphous solid is isotropic solid, crystalline solid is an isotropic solid. So that much you have to prepare. That's all for today's video. Thank you.